What's going on, YouTube? It's been a long time. It's been approximately a year since I've last done a video. Today I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna start doing some videos more often, I think anyways. I'm gonna try to. Today's video I was gonna do on my everyday concealed carries. I have quite a few different setups for different reasons, different situations, things of that nature, so I figured I'd share that with you, maybe give you some ideas, different holsters. So stay tuned and we'll get to it. This is the current group of concealed carries that I use on a regular basis. Some of the holsters that I've used to use back in the day no longer use now, but we'll kind of go through everything and I'll kind of tell you what I use and why I use it. We're going to start with a Glock 19 here. All guns are unloaded. I've checked them all, but we'll go ahead and do it again. So the Glock 19 is an unbelievable gun, as most people know. This one is stock. It's a Gen 3. I have Talon grips on it, Ameriglow sights, and that's it. Outside of the sights and the Talon grips, it's a stock Gen 3 Glock 19. This gun, I carried it in the winter, the fall, when you have a jacket, sweatshirt. For me, it was too big for, shorts, t-shirts, stuff like that. I just think that I'm all about comfort. So that's, my carry kind of goes on comfort, but obviously you can't go wrong with a Glock 19. And if you feel comfortable carrying it, this is a good option. I prefer these type of holsters, your Kydex. This is a company out of Oswego, Illinois. Dynamic Force Technologies. They make a really good holster. I believe the owner is a current cop or used to be a cop, but most of like these are two of the same Dynamic Force Technology holsters. So I enjoy these holsters and I carry appendix style. So let's move on. Next we have the Glock 43X. And before I go any further, I think you'll be surprised at which one I carry the most out of this group. But anyways, once again, the gun is unloaded. Glock 43X is a nice option. It's, obviously, if we go back, your Glock 19 is a 15+1 9mm. Now you're at a 10+1 9mm, but a much smaller gun. Obviously, if you do some comparisons, it's a much smaller gun. Single stack versus double stack. So the Glock 43X, very popular gun. Surprisingly, I don't carry it that much. I think I'm going to start carrying it more, but it's bone stock, regular sights, nothing new on it at the moment. Same type of holster, Dynamic Force Technologies. These are comfortable. They're great appendix carry. I have thought about getting an appendix carry with the side cart for an extra mag. I haven't gone down that road yet. For those of you that are unaware, you can actually use a Glock 43 holster for a 43X. So one thing, I think the biggest thing you need to think about is holsters. Holsters are, for me, have been the hardest to settle in on one. It's hard to find something that's comfortable. That's been the biggest issue. The gun is not as big of an issue for me. It's finding the right holster. For instance, this holster is a Kydex that I had ordered, and it's very similar to the Dynamic Force. This is a cheap one I got off of Amazon. It's called CYA Supply Company, and I paid like 30 bucks for it. These Dynamic Force ones are, I think, around 45, 50. If you look at it, it really doesn't look much different, but for some reason this one is just not comfortable. So I went back to the Dynamic Force because it's comfortable, and I can't really tell by looking at what would make this one not comfortable versus this one, but there is a big difference. So I don't really use this one anymore. So, you know, I think that's the hardest thing, is just because you spend a lot of money on a holster doesn't mean that it's comfortable. You know, cheap ones may be comfortable, maybe not. You know, just something to think about. So moving along, we get to the Glock 42 380 in a Dynamic Force Technologies holster. This is actually my #1 carry. I have never been a 380 guy at all. I happened to trade for this gun and came across it and just decided to try it out. Once again, they're unloaded. I checked them all. And I absolutely love it. And I did not think that would happen. First of all, I always thought that a 42 was the same size as a 43, and I was wrong. It's smaller. So I don't have a regular 43 here, but you know, if we do a comparison to the 43X, you can see the difference in length. You can see the slide is not as thick. I mean, it's a smaller gun by quite a bit. And I added the +2 extensions. So, and these are Vickers Tactical. And so now you got 8+1. You got 8+1 capacity in a really small gun, but it has a great feel to it. I mean, just a great feel. I love this gun. The only thing on here is Talon grips, the +2 extensions. I didn't do anything with the sights yet. I'm thinking about putting night sights. And when it comes to 380, in today's world, the critical 380 ammunition, there's not much difference between 9mm. In a ballistics penetration test, you're looking at 14 inches for a 380 and 16 inches for a 9mm. So, you know, I wouldn't shy away from 380 because you think it's not going to be enough. This gun is so comfortable, you don't know you have it. This is my #1 carry. I think most of you that are into guns probably would have guessed the 43X. And surprisingly, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think I like the regular 43 better than the 43X. I don't currently have a regular 43, but I thought about possibly trading this one for a regular 43. There's a lot of people that want to trade their 43s for 43X. I'm kind of the opposite of that. I think it's a great gun, and maybe I just need to spend more time with it. Something about it, I just haven't really fell in love with it yet. So for the most part, I carry this all year round now and don't carry much of the other guns at all anymore. I used to do this winter, fall, and then I would do this in the summer, and I switched to this pretty much full time now. Occasionally, I'll skip over one here. Occasionally what I do is, if you're just dressed in a way where you don't want to carry a heavy gun, you know, depending on what kind of shorts you have on or whatever, this Ruger LCP II is fantastic. Most of these little guns have horrible triggers, and this one has a spectacular trigger. I mean, for a little gun. I mean, the trigger, normally they have that long pull that takes a mile before it actually fires. This one has a very nice, crisp trigger. So this is a great, they consider it a pocket gun. I'll run it in this holster sometimes, you know, appendix. And then this is the holster it came with, which is a pocket holster. And you put it in here and you just stick it in your pocket. And it's a great option for a little gun. This is also a 380, but for a little gun, it is, I think, the best one I've come across. You also can get, so you got your little pinky extension. It barely gets on there, but you know, you can get a little bit. You do have, this one's loaded. I'm not gonna rack the slide, obviously, but this is a so this is a 6+1. I believe this is an 8+1. If you know any different, leave it in the comments, because it just says 6, but I'm pretty sure this is an 8. So now you get a full grip on it. So if you want something, see, I'm kind of, I don't want to be bothered with a huge gun, but I also want to protect myself. So I have started off large and have gone smaller as time has gone on. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I didn't start off with the 19. I started off with a Smith & Wesson Shield. And I carried this for 1.5 years. And then I went to the 19. And then I started reducing after that. The Shield is an amazing gun. That would probably be my #1 choice for somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience and just wants some information on, you know, what gun they should start carrying. I would go Shield all the way. It's single stack, it's light, it shoots really well. This one has the safety on it. I did carry it with the safety on for probably 1 year, and then I went to carrying it with the safety off just to get comfortable, and then I eventually switched over to a Glock once I was comfortable. But once again, unloaded. This one I believe comes with the 6+1, the smaller mag, but then you can get the bigger 8+1s. So you get 9 rounds of 9mm. Excellent gun. This is a Ruger SP101 357 Magnum with the I think it's like 2¼ inch barrel. This one's been polished. It's got the fiber optic front sight. It has a Wilson combat trigger. It has Hogue grips. This bad boy is just awesome. It actually shoots extremely well, but there's a big fireball that comes out of it. So when I first got it, I was like, man, I don't know if I could hit a barn with this thing, but you actually can shoot pretty accurately. Unloaded. I'd say the only negative about this gun is there's a little bit of weight to it. You really don't notice it though, and you can carry it appendix because it's so short. It doesn't get in your way at all if you sit down or whatever. The only negative probably would be it only holds 5 rounds. So let me know if you enjoy these kind of videos, or if you're looking for any other types of videos. All 126 subscribers out there, I appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna start trying to put a video out every week. So anyways, you guys take care of yourself, stay safe. A lot of crazy things going on right now, and we'll see you on the next video.